Hello, and here's a bit more hope.
Two speakers. The first speaker will be Hope Ryan. Who's Hope Ryan?
Yep. Thank you, and thanks everyone for the discussion. I hope everyone is going to stick around for some of the debates that are happening later on the day and contribute to those discussions as well, because I know they're going to be really interesting. I just want to come to some of the questions that we're talking about, the role of the family, and about how actually kind of women's oppression is tied, interlinked with LGBT plus oppression through the role of the family. I completely agree with that. I mean, an interesting thing, Laura Miles is speaking later on today, but an interesting thing in her article I read is that some of the radical feminist TERFs who are attacking trans people are going after what's called the Gillet principle, which gives people the right under 18 to decide what they want to do with their own healthcare, and that's stop young people from accessing gender affirming care and so on and so forth. That principle is also the principle that gives people under the age of 18 the right to abortion, right? And so you actually see these two things being tied quite literally together, right? And I think it's interesting, some of those same people who are telling us now that trans women are a threat to cis women were also arguing a few years ago that women wearing the hijab in France and so on is a target to the rest of the women. I think we have to say that we choose for the right of every single woman to do what they want with their own body and to wear what they want with what they want as well. I mean, just coming back to some of the discussion around the protection of children, because we see these tropes kind of coming back time and time again. I think what's quite interesting about the Don't Say Gay bill in America is it's almost word for word what Section 28 was like. And so actually you see the same kind of things about trans people being a threat to children nowadays. They were saying about gay people about 30 years ago, and they've only dropped that one because they've realised it's not like a go at. People aren't really up for that. And so you see these kind of laws coming back time and time again. But I want to kind of come back to this question over here, because I actually think it's really interesting. I think the speaker at the front kind of went through it. You know, we don't have an exact blueprint. All we can look for is what have happened in, you know, in places like Egypt, where women were at the forefront of those struggles, fighting for revolutions and stuff like that. But I also want to take a look at what's happening in France at the moment. You know, I think it was it last year or the year before, I can't remember, Marine Le Pen got through to the second stage of the French elections, got quite a high proportion of the vote. Now there is a revolt that's happening in France right now, where they are now blocking Marine Le Pen from going to speak at events and calling her what she is a fascist. And so you can see how actually through struggle people's ideas change, and that's what we want to kind of support. And Laura talked about going down and supporting the strikes, and I think that's absolutely important. But I think we also want to see how we can make permanent change, and it is supporting those strikes, but it's also about joining the Revolutionary Party, who's going to fight every single day to go on all the picket lines, to go on all the trans prides, to fight against the radical feminists and so on and so forth, and fundamentally fight against the system that kind of oppresses us and exploits us. And so that's why I'd really encourage people, if you want to be part of that fight, if you want to be fighting on the day-to-day with us, come join the Socialist Workers' Party. There'll be little red forms floating around. You sign up, it's the best decision I ever made, and we're going to be fighting this fight together.
Anyway, that'll do. See you later. Bye.